This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We have a lot of stakes racing action to bring to you, featuring some very important races, some turf racing from Kentucky Downs, and of course the return to the races in New York of Kentucky Derby winner Fusaichi Pegasus. We are going to kick things off today down at Calder Racecourse with Saturday's Judy's Red Shoes Stakes. This is a $50,000 event for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/16 on the main track. Let's head down to Calder for the call of the Judy's Red Shoes Stakes.
And they're off in the Judy's Red Shoes Stakes. In the middle of the track, Flames in the Sands moves out for the lead to the inside. That's Very Early Scotch. Length back, Precious Feather to the outside. Moving at the rail, that's Back Adam. Then between horses, Castlebrook. And on the far outside, it's Sing Sing a Song. They move around the clubhouse turn. Very Early Scotch on the inside now has the lead a half length. Flames in the Sand on the outside is second. Precious Feather moves up a closer third. To the far outside, it's Sing Sing a Song. Then moving between horses, that's Castlebrook, and at the rail, it's Back Adam. There's only 3 lengths from first to last as they move up the backstretch. The first quarter in 24 seconds flat. On the inside, it's Very Early Scotch leading by a half length. Between horses, Flames in the Sand to the far outside, Precious Feather a chilly third. Then between horses, Castlebrook at the rail, that's Back Adam, 2 lengths back to Sing Sing a Song. They went to half in 48 and 3. They leave the half-mile pole. It's Very Early Scotch in front by a head. On the outside, that's Castlebrook moving up to challenge. And from between horses, Back Adam to the far outside, it's Precious Feather. Then 3 lengths back, Flames in the Sand, and another 4 lengths, it's Sing Sing a Song. Field moves toward the quarter pole. They went 3 quarters and 1:13 and 1. On the far outside, Precious Feather with Castlebrook between horses, and at the rail, Back Adam. They're at the top of the stretch. Precious Feather on the outside gets the lead. Castlebrook is back to second, then to the inside. Back Adam weakens third. It's 3 lengths back to Very Early Scotch. They're in the final furlong now. Precious Feather by 2. Castlebrook running a game race is second, 4 lengths back. Back Adam is third. In deep stretch, it's Precious Feather. She's going to take the Judy's Red Shoes Stakes by almost the length.
Precious Feather, the heavy favorite in here, getting the win from off the pace under Javier Castellano. Castlebrook rallied well, splitting horses into the far turn, getting into the second spot. It was a long way back to Back Adam, who chased the early pace, made a bit of a middle move, and held on for the third spot. The winner, Precious Feather, is a Dart Bayer Brown 3-year-old filly. She was bred in Kentucky by John R. Gaines Thoroughbreds, a daughter of Gone West from Last Feather by Vaguely Noble. She is owned by Jack's or Better Farm and trained by James Hatchett. Ridden to victory by Javier Castellano. Judy's Red Shoes winner, Precious Feather, completes the 1 1/16 in 1 minute 46 seconds flat. Stakes racing action continues up the Atlantic coast with the Dover Stakes at Delaware Park. $75,000 for 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs. Let's head down to Delaware for the call of the Dover Stakes.
We're set, and they're off in the Dover Stakes. T.P. Louis, Beyond Brilliant, away well on the far outside. There goes Spot You Missed down toward the inside quickly, followed by Hook to West, now splitting horses. Hook to West from the inside now sticks ahead in front of T.P. Louis. Spot You Missed racing third up on the outside. Beyond Brilliant now. Sea of Green moves up between horses in fifth. A gap or two to Windsor Castle, and toward the inside, that's Twin Shooter. Opening quarter goes in 21 and 4. Good time on this dull track today. On the inside, Hook to West by head over T.P. Louis. Beyond Brilliant now edging forward in third. Spot You Missed toward the rail in fourth. Sea of Green is racing in fifth. Windsor Castle moves up on the outside, and Twin Shooter yet to get underway. 3/8 to go. T.P. Louis now edging away by a length and a half. And Ronnie Warren's asking for more from Beyond Brilliant, who's responding a bit, cutting the margin to a length. Dropping back a bit, hooked to west toward the inside, followed by Fa-Emis and Windsor Castle as they turn for home. Half 45 and 3. Beyond Brilliant under left-handed urging from Ronnie Warren now to the front. TP Louis chasing in second, followed by a late run Sea of Green between horses. A 16th to go. The trip was worth it, it appears, for Beyond Brilliant and Ronnie Warren Jr. winning the Dover Stakes. Sea of Green closing well for second, going to be tight for third. A late run from Beyond from on the inside. Twin Shooter getting up for third.
Beyond Brilliant getting a win here from just off the pace. Got a stalking trip under Ron Warren. Draws off brilliantly, in fact, to win by 6 3/4 lengths. Sea of Green rallied from off the pace after being taken up on the turn into the second spot with Twin Shooter well back behind in the third spot. TP Louis, who had been running quite well in the Mid-Atlantic Circuit, did chase the early pace, was able to get to the lead before fading in the drive. The winner, Beyond Brilliant, is a 2-year-old chestnut colt, a son of Highbright out of Beyond a Doubt by Conquistador Cielo. He was bred in Kentucky by Larry Millison, owned by A.J. Alio, and trained by Greg Gilchrist. Beyond Brilliant, ridden by Ron Warren Jr., completes the 6 furlongs in 1:12 1/5. We will continue with stakes racing action from Friday night's action at the Meadowlands. The Grade 3 Cliffhanger, $150,000 for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/16 on the turf course. Let's head down to the Meadowlands now for the call of Friday night's Cliffhanger handicap.
And they're off. Northeast Bound gets away quickly and cleanly toward the inside. Johnny Dollar with the yellow blinkers charges up on the outside. And from between horses, Private Slip is in third position as they pass us for the first time. That's Johnny Dollar in front by 3/4 of a length. Northeast Bound on the inside second. Private Slip is right there third on the outside. Buying Rain is fanned a bit wide in fourth. El Mirasol with the white cap is fifth along the inside. Tepat is next, and Inexplicable as they race to the backstretch. And the battle up front. On the outside, it's Johnny Dollar leading the way by half a length. Northeast Bound along the inside second by 1. Private Slip is racing third. Swamp moves through fourth on the inside. Buying Rain is fifth between horses. Inexplicable is sixth and gaining on the outside. Garbu is next, followed at the inside by Virginia Carnival, who's third last. Then comes Tappet, who's been shuffled back, and Majestic Jove. Back on the front end, Johnny Dollar continues to show the way. On the outside, and Northeast Bound on the inside speeds up. Those two in a duel up front. And Northeast Bound with Jose Velez draws clear. In front, Northeast Bound by 2.5. Johnny Dollar can't close the gap with Swamp racing third in deep stretch. Northeast Bound wins it easily by 3. Johnny Dollar second. Photo for the show.
Northeast Bound has been a very consistent sort, both in New York and New Jersey. Coming from just off the pace, he was rated close to a pressured leader. Johnny Dollar able to pass that one after a bit of a duel in the lane. Steady pressure all the way through. Johnny Dollar holds on very nicely as 43-1 longest shot on the board. For the second spot was Swamp, who went off at a fairly generous 6.5-1. Back in the third spot, Swamp is still trying to regain his best form from last year, has not really returned to the his best form. Disappointing effort, in fact, an inexplicable finish for Inexplicable, the favorite here at 2.5-1. Finishing last, he was a little disappointing last time out in the 4-star Dave handicap. It appeared that everybody was expecting, as was I, him to return to his best form, but he did disappoint in this field. Also, Garbu from the Bill Mott operation came from a bit off the pace, only able to get up to 6th. A couple of disappointing efforts from some New York horses, but Northeast Bound continues to run very consistently. He is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown gelding. He is a son of Diacord from Northeast Dancer by Far North. Northeast Bound was bred in Kentucky by Scott Ricker, Julian DeMarco, and Richard DeSano. He's owned by DeMarco and DeSano, trained by Bill Perry, ridden to victory by Jose Velez Jr. Northeast Bound completes the 1 1/16 on the turf course at the Meadowlands in 1:43 3/5 seconds. Stakes racing action continued around the country with the River Cities Breeders' Cup Handicap at Louisiana Downs on Sunday. $150,000 on offer for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares to go 1 1/16 on the turf course. Let's head to Louisiana Downs now for the call of the River Cities Breeders' Cup Handicap.
And they're off in the River Cities Breeders' Cup. Wild Lush was out very alertly. Roses and Raindrops comes away in second. Illiquidity third. And now Sterling Bridge is angling into contention from the outside. Illiquidity is settled in 5th position, and Cocoa Creek is the early trailer. Into the first turn they go, and it's Wild Lush leading it by a neck. Sterling Bridge keeps the pressure on second. Always Sure settles in a good striking position third. Roses and Raindrops is 4th, 4 lengths off the pace, followed by Illiquidity, and Cocoa Creek is 7 lengths off the lead. Onto the backstretch they go, and it's Wild Lush by 1.5 lengths. Sterling Bridge is second. Always Sure down at the rail is in third, 2.5 lengths off the pacemaker. Then it's Roses and Raindrops in 4th position. Illiquidity is still 5th, 6 lengths off the lead, and Cocoa Creek trails. There's a half-mile left to go in the River Cities Breeders' Cup, and it's Wild Lush who's been there every step of the way. Sterling Bridge a length back in second. Always Sure has had a comfortable journey in third. Just behind that, Roses and Raindrops is being asked for more. Illiquidity will be caught wide around the turn, and Cocoa Creek is at the back of a compact field. Wild Lush is tackled by Always Sure, who angles off the rail, and Always Sure is traveling smoothly as she takes control at the top of the stretch. Wild Lush has been left behind in second. Sterling Bridge is not doing enough. Illiquidity on the far outside. Cocoa Creek has surfaced late. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go, and Always Sure is running powerfully up front. Illiquidity takes up the chase in second. Cocoa Creek is in third. Here comes Illiquidity after Always Sure. Always Sure by 2. Illiquidity closing in steadily. Always Sure in front, though. Always Sure wins the River Cities Breeders' Cup over Illiquidity. Cocoa Creek ran third.
Always Sure spurting clear late in the drive, drawing away to a 1/2 length win as Illiquidity is making up a lot of ground late, but she's unable to match the winner here. She did get her late run started perhaps a little bit too late. Cocoa Creek was rallying right behind her from well off the pace. Early pace setter Sterling Bridge was unable to hold on for better than the 4th spot. The winner, Always Sure, is a 4-year-old chestnut filly. She was bred in Kentucky by Charles Knuckles Jr. and Sons, a daughter of Lord at War from Sure Enough by Java Gold. She is owned by Papa Top and trained by Tom Amos. Ridden to victory by Cal Burrell, Always Sure completes the 1 1/16 on the turf course at Louisiana Downs in 1:44.1. We will continue with stakes racing action, this time from the Midwest at Arlington International, the Arlington Washington Futurity. Grade 2 rather, $150,000 event for 2-year-olds going 1 mile. This was contested on Saturday. Let's head out to Arlington now for the call of the Arlington Washington Futurity.
Away and running in the Arlington Washington Futurity. A fast start in between horses for Trail the Fox. Here's Take Arms now moving through. Starberry also away well through this first furlong, and Spectacular Cat is just in behind them, running in 4th. Blame It on Ruby is 5th now as they meet up with the main track, where Take Arms and Trail the Fox merge on the lead through a quarter in a quick 22-2. Trail the Fox in the middle of Take Arms, and Starberry right there forcing this pace along, running in 3rd by 2 more. Closely watched by Spectacular Cat running 4th. Blame It on Ruby right there between 2-year-olds. First State Deposit out wide, but only 4 from the lead. Then getting a run down at the fence is St. Damien, followed wide by CD. And between those two, 1 by the nose, and then further back is Wheat Penny. And What's Up Dog is running in 11th. The half in 45-1 around the far turn. Trail the Fox has been under incessant pressure. Starberry just outside his neck. Take Arms now coming under pressure, running in 3rd, coming toward the quarter pole. Followed by Blame It on Ruby running wide. Spectacular Cat still 4 from the lead at the quarter pole. And St. Damien has a avenue to run through at the fence. Top of the home stretch. 6 furlongs in 1:10-3. Trail the Fox looking sharp now in the lone furlong left. Trail the Fox still there. Starberry chasing down toward the 16th. Blame It on Ruby, Spectacular Cat, and St. Damien. They're coming down toward the line. Starberry, one more crack at Trail the Fox. Trail the Fox. His scope went past 6 furlongs today. Trail the Fox won it by a length.
Trail the Fox, prominent throughout under Shane Sellers, getting the win here as Starbury is finishing in the second spot. Starbury, a horse that had started his career in New York. He is owned by the Kinsman stud of Mr. George Steinbrenner. Blame It on Ruby, finishing in the third spot here. This is a race that has quite a bit of tradition behind it. The Calumet Farm in particular used to use this race for many of their good 2-year-olds stabled in the Midwest. Trail the Fox is a son of Fox Trail, a good young stallion. This is his first crop. He's gotten off to a good start. This one here has already won a couple of stakes and finished second last time out in the Best Pal out of California behind Flamethrower, who did go on to win very impressively in the Del Mar Futurity last time out. Trail the Fox is owned by Jack Liebau et al. And trained by Patrick Biancone, ridden to victory by Shane Sellers, completing the 1 mile in 1:37 1/5 seconds. We are going to pause for a brief break, and when we return, we'll have racing action to bring to you from Kentucky, the Kentucky Cup Turf Group that was run on Saturday at Kentucky Downs, as well as stakes racing from the far west at Bay Meadows. Please stay tuned.
Don't be left out in the rain. Capital OTB is offering a free golf umbrella for those who open a new Phonabet account between now and December 31st. Stop by your favorite OTB branch or call our customer service department
at 1-800-292-2387.
Open a new Phonabet account today, and Capital OTB will ship you your free umbrella. Capital OTB, we've got you covered.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to continue with racing action from Kentucky Downs. The turf division of the Kentucky Cup was contested on Saturday at Kentucky Downs. Getting things kicked off was the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash. $100,000 on offer for 3-year-olds and up, sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course. Let's head down to Kentucky Downs for the call of the Turf Dash.
They're off in the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash. Breaking smartly down along the inside is Top Gamble along with More Luck. Those two will lead the group down that hill and into the far turn. And More Luck emerges with the lead on top by a length and a half. More Luck joined on the outside by Rudy, who sticks his head in front for a moment. Those two to duel as they head round the turn. More Luck with a slight advantage to the inside. Then Rudy. We drop back to Top Gamble on the inside in third, about 5 lengths off the top pair. Run Johnny to the outside of that one. Back to Smolder and Hart, then Prankster with some 8 lengths to make up. Behind that one, we come to K-Rose Royalty, and the trailer is Chindy as they come around the turn and they head toward the top of the stretch, and More Luck, the favorite, is on the lead and turns for home in front. More Luck leading the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash. Here comes Prankster with a late run, and on the far outside there is Run Johnny. Rudy still there, but it is More Luck the one to catch. More Luck on top by 3 and drawing off with a furlong to run. More Luck in complete control of the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash. A late run on the outside now. Here comes Run Johnny and Rudy, but it is More Luck cruising to victory. He wins it by 6.
More Luck getting the win on the front end here, drawing away by 6 lengths. It was Rudy holding on for the second spot. He tracked the early lead every step. He did force the pace, but he was certainly no match when More Luck was able to extend in the drive. Run Johnny ended up in a bit of a rallying move. He was never far back, ends up moving 4 wide without having much left in the drive, falls about a neck short of Rudy. The winner, More Luck, ridden by Robbie Alvarado, is a 4-year-old bay colt. He was bred in Kentucky by G. Watts Humphrey and Joe Pierce. He is a son of Housebuster from Flashing Eyes by Time to Explode. He's owned by Michael P. Coonan, trained by Randy Morse, ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado. More Luck completes the 6 furlongs in the turf dash in 1:09 3. Following the Turf Dash was the Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf. Unfortunately, due to some simulcast issues coming out of Kentucky Downs, I do not have that race to show you. I'll give you the results. It was a $100,000 3-year-old and up event for fillies and mares going a mile on the turf. The winner in here was Silken. Silken is a horse that you may remember from her last start in New York. She won an allowance event up here, beating Affirmed Lane and Tell It. Tell It did come back this past weekend to win in New York. Running in the second spot after setting the early pace was Confessional, another familiar face in New York, with Gran Mujer, a South American filly, rallying well into the third spot from way off the pace. Silken, the winner, is a 4-year-old British-bred filly. She was bred in Great Britain by Mr. and Mrs. K.J. Buchanan, a daughter of Danehill, from Our Reverie by J.O. Tobin. She's owned by the Windstar Farm, trained by Elliot Walden. Silken was ridden to victory by Larry Melanson, completing the 1 mile on the turf course in 1:36 flat. Stakes racing action continued with the Kentucky Cup, and fortunately the simulcast problems were cleared up. The Kentucky Cup Mile $200,000 race was next on the card, 3-year-olds and up, going a flat mile. Let's head down to the Kentucky Cup Mile.
They're off. Good start. Minor Wisdom shows speed from the outside with Shellbacks. Night Patrol to the outside of those. They head up the hill on the backstretch. It's Shellbacks to the inside. Minor Wisdom to the outside. On the far outside, Night Patrol. Kimberlite Pipe. Tamarisk close along the inside. Then Glick. We drop back to King Slayer. Then it's Treat Me Doc. I Can't Hear You. The trailer as they head over the hill is Ben Scahote. They top their eyes and head down that sweeping far turn, and the leader is Shellbacks. Shellbacks on top by length. Tamarisk in good position just behind that one. Minor Wisdom is there. In between horses is Kimberlite Pipe. Shellbacks continuing to show the lead, leading it by a length and a half. Kimberlite Pipe now moves into second. Tamarisk saving ground down along the inside. On the outside, still in contention, although getting a wide trip, is Night Patrol. And back behind horses is Dernier Croix moving up. Treat Me Doc, the defending winner, making a move about 5 wide. Then down to the inside, it is King Slayer. Less than 3/8 of a mile to run, and Shellbacks is the one to catch. Just off his flank is Minor Wisdom, Kimberlite Pipe, and Tamarisk down along the rails. Shellbacks the one to catch. Dernier Croix in the middle of the racetrack. And on the far outside, here comes a late run from Treat Me Doc, and Glick is in gear on the far outside. On the rail with the lead is Shellbacks, trying desperately to hang on. Minor Wisdom is there, tough. Looking on the outside, here comes Glick with a big late charge. Glick flies past. Mark Guidry and Glick win the Kentucky Cup Mile.
Glick, another familiar face from New York, getting a win here by a length under Rod Guidry. He was rallying from way off the pace, as is his usual mode. He was reserved inside early, made a huge move 7 wide into a stiff drive, is able to run down Minor Wisdom, who was involved early, holding on for a neck over Shellbacks, who was the early pace setter in the field. The winner, Glick, ends up sitting off of a very, very slow pace and still was able to rally from well off the pace, setting him up for a potential effort in the Breeders' Cup Mile. He is a 4-year-old bay colt, bred in Kentucky by the late Alan Paulson, a son of Theatrical from Bijot by Mr. Prospector. He is owned by the Alan Paulson Trust, trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Mark Guidry. Glick completes the 1 mile in 1:36 flat. The final Kentucky Cup event of the day was the Kentucky Cup Turf, $300,000 for 3-year-olds and up, going 1.5 miles over the turf course. Let's head back down to Kentucky Downs once more for the Kentucky Cup Turf.
Crowd pleaser there at the post. And they're off. Good start for all as they're going 1.5 miles in the Kentucky Cup Turf, showing early speed. Night Dreamer in the middle of that group. Down to the inside, it is Blueprint. Those two show the way as they come down the stretch for the first time. Now Royal Strand up to contest the lead as they go past the wire for the first time, and it is Royal Strand who will be in front as they go past the wire. Inside on the rail, that is Blueprint. To the outside, Crowd Pleaser is there. Night Dreamer is in between horses. Then we drop further back, and we find Single Empire. To the outside is Down the Aisle. The early trailer is Dixie's Home. Moderate pace as they move around that sharp first turn. And the leader is still Royal Strand. He's cruising along out there by 1.5 lengths with Crowd Pleaser. And closest attendance to the outside. He's parked 2 wide. Down along the rail, it's Blueprint. 2 lengths further back to Night Dreamer in 4th. Then it's Honor Glide in 5th. To the inside, Single Empire is next. Then we come to the two trailers. Dixie's Home and Down the Aisle is on the back end, but only 7 lengths off the lead as they go up the hill on the backstretch. They go to the crest of the rise, and it is Royal Strand still on an easy lead out there, leading it by 2 lengths as they go over the rise and into the sweeping far turn. Right behind there on the rail and closest attendance is Blueprint. And to the outside of that one, Crowd Pleaser, a long shot still there. Behind those, it is Night Dreamer and Single Empire. Honor Glide starts to kick in a rally from the outside. Then we drop further back. The trailers still Dixie's Home and Down the Aisle. As they are approaching the half-mile marker, it is still Royal Strand out there by a length and a half. Crowd Pleaser is next. Dropping back just a bit is Blueprint, but still sitting in a good spot along the rail. Night Dreamer between horses. Then it's Honor Glide to the outside. Down to the inside, Single Empire, and behind some horses. Now, Down the Aisle starts to kick it in from the back end, and Dixie's Home starts to roll as they come to the top of the stretch, and the one to catch is Royal Strand. He's in front as they turn for home. Royal Strand is there now. Blueprint trying to make up some ground along the inside. On the outside, Crowd Pleaser is still there. The far outside, it's Down the Aisle. It is Royal Strand. Here's Royal Strand leading it, with Crowd Pleaser still there. Single Empire coming up between horses. Down the aisle, charging on the far outside. Crowd Pleaser down the aisle. Those two to the wire. Down the aisle, surging. Crowd Pleaser to the inside. Down the aisle, wins it by a head.
Down the Aisle, Bill Mott makes it a sweep with Down the Aisle, a 7-year-old getting the win here. He was a very impressive horse early in the summer, did take some time off this summer. I was expecting to see him up here in Saratoga. He ships out of town, gets a nice win by a head over a very game Crowd Pleaser. This is another horse for the course at Saratoga who, for some reason, Mr. Shepard chose not to race up here at Saratoga, but he did perform very nicely at long odds, getting a good second place finish in the Kentucky Cup Turf. Royal Strand, another familiar face from the New York scene, ends up setting the early pace and holding on nicely for third, not beaten badly at all. Honor Glide completes the top 4 here as Single Empire, another horse that had been very impressive early in the year. He is a Neil Drysdale trainee, shipped in from California for this one, never really got on track. He's a big, long striding horse that really sometimes takes a little bit of time to really mount his rally. The winner, Down the Aisle, a 7-year-old gray or roan horse, was bred in Kentucky by Charles H. Dieters. He is the son of Runaway Groom from That's My Hun by L'Angelure. He's owned by Charles Dieters and trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado. Down the Aisle completes the 1.5 miles of the Kentucky Cup Turf in 2:27 flat. We are going to continue with our stakes racing action from Bay Meadows in Northern California. The Grade 3 Bay Meadows Handicap was contested on Saturday, $200,000 on offer for 3-year-olds and up, going 1.1 miles on the turf course. Let's head out to Bay Meadows now for the call of the Bay Meadows Handicap.
And there they go. It's a good start for all. Prize Giving is out for the lead with River Keen. Divine Wind comes away in third. Casino King is fourth. To Play Venture in front of Irish Prize with the lead River Keen inside of Prize Giving. Casino King is third inside of Divine Wind. To Play Venture is 6th from the leader, and the trailer is Irish Prize. Past the grandstand for the first time. That's River Keen to dictate the pace. Prize Giving to keep him company. Casino King saves ground entering the clubhouse turn. Divine Wind is a little wide. To Play Venture in no hurry, about 4 from the front, and the trailer is Irish Prize. Through the clubhouse turn, River Keen maintains his lead. Prize Giving right there with him in second. Casino King is third with a nice stride. Divine Wind fourth to the outside. To Play Venture still has about 4 to make up, and the trailer is Irish Prize. Up the Longdon backstretch with the lead, River Keen. Prize Giving right there in second. Divine Wind to the grandstand side. Casino King has the rail running. To Play Venture's in a good spot. Irish Prize to his outside, very compact field. River Keen calling the shots. To his outside is Prize Giving. Divine Wind is third, 2 from the front covering Casino King. To Play Venture and Irish Prize have about 3 to make up through the turn. It's Grit River Keen with the lead. River Keen has the lead. Prize Giving giving way. Divine Wind to the outside. Here comes To Play Venture. Casino King to the inside and Irish Prize. They are all chasing River Keen. He is being tackled by Divine Wind. Far outside comes Irish Irish Prize covering Deploy Venture. Divine Wind goes on by River Keen. Must deal with Irish Prize and Deploy Venture. It's Divine Wind with the lead. Divine Wind now kicks clear by better than 2. Divine Wind and Garrett Gomez to win the Bay Meadows Handicap.
Divine Wind getting the win from off the pace. He was under a snug hold early, advancing 3 wide onto the turn and making a nice move, getting a length win under Garrett Gomez, defeating Irish Prize, who was coming from well off the pace, with Deploy Venture also well back early, moving up into the 3rd spot here. Disappointing effort once more from River Keen. He did set rather sensible fractions in here and ends up fading rather badly into the 5th spot. This is a horse that Bob Baffert has had some trouble getting him back to his best form. He does have some problems, serious problems with his feet, which I imagine might be troubling him. The switch back to the turf, unfortunately, didn't seem to benefit him very much. The winner, Divine Wind, is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown gelding who was bred in Kentucky by Paul Tackett and Clark Cleveland. He is owned by New Yorker Richard Englander, trained by Nick Kanani, and ridden to victory by Garrett Gomez. The son of American Chance completes the Bay Meadows Handicap in 147 flat. We are going to pause for a brief break, and when we return, we will have all kinds of exciting stakes racing action, both from New York and abroad. Please stay tuned.
Here's a look at this weekend's stakes action as we end the month of September. From Belmont on Saturday, fillies and mares 3 and up running the Grade 3 $100,000 Noble Damsel Handicap, and New York breds 3 and up going the $75,000 Ashley T. Cole Handicap. Sunday finds 2-year-old New York breds in action in the $75,000 Bertram F. Bongard. From Louisiana Downs on Saturday, it's the Grade 1 $500,000 Super Derby 21 for 3-year-olds and the $75,000 Marie P. DeBartolo Oaks Handicap for 3-year-old fillies. Sunday, it'll be the $100,000 Louisiana Downs Handicap for 3-year-olds and up. At Arlington Park on Saturday, it's the Grade 3 $100,000 Arlington Washington Lassie for 2-year-old fillies. Bay Meadows has 3-year-olds going in the Grade 3 $150,000 Bay Meadows Breeders' Cup Handicap on Saturday. Catch all the action this weekend at any Capital OTB location.
Welcome back, everyone. Next, we're going to be heading to Belmont Park, where stakes racing action for the weekend was hotly contested. Getting things off on Saturday was the Schenectady Handicap. $75,000 for 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares bred in the state of New York, sprinting 6 furlongs. Let's head down to New York for the call of the Schenectady Handicap.
And they're off. Belongs to Moni, came away in a tangle. Yankee Tradition is going for the lead. Down on the inside is a Shot Berry, and Fickle Fanny is racing in 3rd. Then comes Rhinestone Dewey in 4th. Dat You Ms. Blue is 5th, 3.5 lengths from the lead. As they move into the far turn, it's Yankee Tradition who has the lead here. On the outside is Fickle Fanny. There goes Dat You Ms. Blue. And now it's 3 of them across the track with Rhinestone Dewey in 4th. The Shot Berry is next in 5th. And then comes a Double the Debt in 6th, and the trailer belongs to Moni. On the outside, it is a Dat You Ms. Blue. Fickle Fanny is in between. Yankee Tradition on the rail. 3 of them across as they come to the top of the stretch. The half was running 45 and 2. Yankee Tradition now under the whip. On the outside, it's Dat You Ms. Blue. Shotberry is looking to come on through. Dat You Ms. Blue. Yankee Tradition. They're right together. Shotberry takes to the outside. Now a 16th to the finish. Yankee Tradition puts ahead in front. Dat You Ms. Blue is second. Yankee Tradition now 3 for 3 as she wins the Schenectady. Dat You Ms. Blue second. Shotberry was third.
A very impressive stakes debut for Yankee Tradition. Jerry Bailey aboard, and this filly has been dominant in her maiden and preliminary allowance condition. Takes the step up into New York State Bred Stakes Company. Takes on a filly who has been very competitive against graded open stakes company in Dat You Ms. Blue. Runs eye to eye with her for a short period and draws away. Jerry Bailey did go to the whip on her to shake her up on the inside at the top of the stretch. He put the whip away, and she drew off to a 3/4 length win under a vigorous hand ride. Heavy favorite Dat You Ms. Blue coming off of a very good second place effort at Saratoga behind subsequent stakes winner Chiluki. Ends up in the second spot as the heavy favorite was Shot Buried, picking up the pieces. She's a filly who often shows very good speed. She sat behind the pace here and picked up some tired horses as she rallies into the third spot. The winner, Yankee Tradition, now 3 for 3, is a 3-year-old chestnut filly bred in the state of New York by McMahon Thoroughbreds and Jane Freed. She's a daughter of DeHare from Raise the Bridge by Raise a Cup, owned by the Spring Valley Road Farm and trained by Linda Rice, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. Yankee Tradition completes the 6 furlongs at Belmont Park in a very brisk 109-4. Next on the card is going to be the Grade 2 Jerome Handicap, $150,000 for 3-year-olds going a flat mile. This, a Grade 2 race, usually doesn't receive as much attention in the press as it did this year, but this year it featured the return to the races of the Kentucky Derby winner, Fusaichi Pegasus. Let's head down to New York for the call of Saturday's Jerome Handicap.
And they're off. In the Jerome Handicap, and Fusaichi Pegasus broke well from the inside, but it is Hook and Ladder who shows first, and Albert the Great is moving right up. Hook and Ladder and Albert the Great, they're heads apart for the early lead. Big EE right off the front runners in third. Then it's El Corredor in fourth. Fusaichi Pegasus is a close-up fifth, and it's a gap of almost 3 lengths back to the trailer Concerned Minister. They move up the backstretch. Albert the Great has taken the lead. Albert the Great is in front by almost a length. In between horses, Hook and Ladder is racing in second. On the outside is Big EE in third. El Corredor is a fourth. Fusaichi Pegasus has been taken off the rail, is running in fifth, about 4 lengths from the lead. And the trailer is still the long shot Concerned Minister. The first quarter was run 22-3. The half mile in a swift 44-1. It is Albert the Great leading here by a neck. Hook and Ladder is second, and there goes the Derby winner, Fusaichi Pegasus, making his move on the outside. It's now 3 across the track, a gap of 2 to El Corredor in fourth, then Big EE, and the field turns for home. 3/4, 108-1, and Fusaichi Pegasus has taken over the lead. Fusaichi Pegasus in front, Albert the Great on the inside in second. El Corredor, the California Invader, moving up on the outside. They're inside the 16th pole. Fusaichi Pegasus by a length. El Corredor. Fusaichi Pegasus returns to the races with a win in the Jerome Mile. El Corredor second. Albert the Great was third, and the time was 1 minute 34 seconds.
Fusaichi Pegasus returns to the winner's circle under a vigorous hand ride by Kent Desormeaux, 3/4 length winner over El Corredor, who was charging hard late, trying to make up ground. He did get trapped down inside. Jerry Bailey was able to get him out, but not in time to make any sort of a serious move at the big horses. Fusaichi Pegasus, out since the Preakness, returns to the races with a very impressive performance. He did have the race set up fairly well in front of him, however. He had a good pace set up in front of him. Albert the Great went out there towards the lead. Hook and Ladder went after him, and they set it up nicely for a big romping outside 4-wide move from the Kentucky Derby winner as Fusaichi Pegasus continues to roll along. Mr. Drysdale did state on the network last week that he didn't feel this horse was 100%, but this race was being used as a stepping stone. He did get a good win, and very sharp effort. Kent Desormeaux felt that the horse was well within himself, completing the 1 mile on Saturday. The rainy conditions fortunately held off long enough for the track to remain fast, and we had a very clear, very honest race here. El Corredor does rally into the second spot. Albert the Great, who was involved every step of the way, who was pressed very hard while down on the inside by Hook and Ladder, held on very nicely for the third spot. It was a long 8.5 lengths back to Big EE in the fourth spot. The winner, Fusaichi Pegasus, is a 3-year-old bay colt. He was bred in Kentucky by Arthur B. Hancock in the Stoner Side Limited, a son of Mr. Prospector by Out of Angel Fever by Danzig. He is owned by Fuseo Sekiguchi and Shaddai Farm et al., trained by Neil Drysdale, ridden to victory by his regular rider Kent DeSormo. Fusaichi Pegasus lights up the board at a final time of 1:34 flat. Very impressive for a horse returning off a long layoff. Stakes racing action continued on Saturday. After the Jerome, one would have expected a little bit of a letdown, but very exciting racing to follow with the Grade 1 Vosburg Handicap. $300,000 for 3-year-olds and up, going 7 furlongs. A couple of very good 3-year-old sprinters taking on their elders for the first time. Let's head back to New York now for the call of the Grade 1 Vosburg.
And they're off. Easton Taj Extreme outside, a one-way love, Successful Appeal moving up between horses, Trippy down at the rail, Trippy puts ahead in front, Successful Appeal is next in second, and now Iron Punch has taken third. One-way love is a fourth. Make Yourself at Home on the outside with Easton Taj. Delaware Township is moving on through. Then comes Valiant Hallery. More Than Ready is ninth, and Stalwart Member is the trailer, and the first quarter was running 22-1. It is Trippy leading here by a length. Iron Punch in second. Delaware Township and Successful Appeal right together third and fourth. Easton Taj is fifth. One-way love in between horses. Then Valiant Hallery, followed by More Than Ready, about 7 lengths from the lead. Then Stalwart Member and Make Yourself at Home. The half in 44-3, and the field comes into the stretch, and it's Trippy in front. Delaware Township under the whip and driving in second. Iron Punch is third. More Than Ready out in the middle of the track, making his move. It is Trippy, More Than Ready on the outside. Trippy trying to hold on. More Than Ready on the outside. It is Trippy still in front. Then More Than Ready, and Trippy won it by 3/4 of a length. More Than Ready second. One-way love was third.
Trippy, one of those 3-year-olds, getting the win here over none other than More Than Ready, his stablemate, an uncoupled stablemate, getting the second spot here. Trippy popped out of the gate down on the inside, made a nice move right to the lead under Jerry Bailey, and stayed there every step of the way, holding on for a half a length win over More Than Ready. More Than Ready made a huge rallying move from well off the pace. Didn't have an easy start. He was bumped a little bit, angled out, made a huge move, and was unable to catch his stablemate. One-Way Love, who was a little bit of a surprise at fairly long odds, ends up in the third spot, closing ground. He was hustled outside horses early, made a move between rivals, and ended up finishing fairly well from off the pace. The winner, Trippy, is a 3-year-old bay colt. He was bred in Florida by Harry Mangurian, a son of N-Sweep out of Jealous Appeal by Valid Appeal. He's coming off of a rather disappointing third-place finish up at Saratoga in the Amsterdam. Apparently he's a horse with a little bit of trouble with his feet, but Todd Pletcher felt that he was training beautifully at Belmont. He certainly has run very well here in the past, getting the win here for owners Dogwood Stable, trainer Todd Pletcher, and rider Jerry Bailey. Trippy completes the 7 furlongs at Belmont Park in 1:21-3. Sunday's stakes feature at Belmont Park, the Lawrence Realization. This is an historic race, a Grade 3 $150,000 event for 3-year-olds going long, 1.5 miles on the turf course. Let's head back down to Belmont once more for the call of the Lawrence Realization.
And they're off. Sailing, Avowed, and Cardinal Verse. They're all out for the early lead. Towards the inside is What a Brainstorm running in fourth. Rob Spirit moves up from the outside with Lodge Hill as they come under the line for the first time, and it will be Cardinal Verse in front here. Cardinal Verse has the lead. Avowed on the outside in second. Lodge Hill is next, then Sailing. Rob Spirit on the extreme outside. Ciro is down at the rail as the field moves for the clubhouse turn. Cardinal Verse short lead. Avowed is second. Lodge Hill at the rail in third. Rob Spirit on the outside in fourth. Ciro is racing in fifth. In between horses, the filly Sailing in sixth. Then it's Grand Finale on the outside in 7th. Polish Minor is 8th. Then it's a Dawn of the Condor in 9th. And trailing the field is What a Brainstorm in 10th. The first quarter, 25-1. The half in 50-1. And now they begin the long run up the backstretch. And it is Cardinal Verse continuing to lead here by a neck. Avowed on the outside in 2nd. A length and a half to Lodge Hill and Rob Spirit. They're right together, 3rd and 4th. Sailing and Grand Finale are together. On the outside, moving up is Dawn of the Condor from 7th. Down at the rail is the favorite Ciro, then Polish Minor, and What a Brainstorm. 3 quarters, 1:15-3. Cardinal Verse, the long shot, is still in front here. It's Cardinal Verse by a half length. In between horses is Avowed. On the outside is Rob's Spirit. A close-up 3rd. Lodge Hill is saved ground towards the inside in 4th. Then comes a Dawn of the Condor. What a Brainstorm is kicking in on the outside. Ciro is down at the fence. Then comes a Polish Minor, followed by a Sailing. Grand Finale has dropped to the back of the pack. And the field is at the head of the stretch. Cardinal Verse, What a Brainstorm. Ciro is widest of all, but coming on quickly. Ciro and What a Brainstorm, and Ciro takes the lead. What a Brainstorm is 2nd. It's 5 lengths back to the rest of the field. Ciro in front in deep stretch. What a Brainstorm is 2nd. The battle will be for 3rd. It is Ciro to win the Lawrence Realization.
Ciro, a European shipper who shipped in for the Secretariat Stakes last time out, picked up a surprising win that day over King Kugat. Proves that was no fluke with a very impressive effort here on Sunday at Belmont Park. Jose Santos tucked him inside, raided along nicely behind horses. At one point, he actually appeared to be dropping behind well back in preparation to make his move. Santos sees a spot, lets him glide outward into about the four path or so, makes a huge move past horses and ends up on the lead in several strides. He's a big, long, striding sort of horse, and he was able to pass early pace setter Cardinal Verse in a matter of a couple of strides. What a Brainstorm, rather, rallies hard from behind him. After having been taken back early, makes a 5-wide move and was able to actually get his head in front at one point, just briefly, before Ciro was able to pass him rather strongly. Lodge Hill, who had been quite impressive early in the year, an allowance company, stepped up and won major stakes races in Canada, came back here on the turf and steadily along behind horses early, was able to show a little bit of a turn of foot late and was able to get up for the 3rd spot and a little bit of an upset at 35-1 here. Disappointing race from Rob Spirit under Jerry Bailey, the son of Theatrical, coming off of a couple of good races. Really never got really into the running, chased early without making much of a move late. The winner, Ciro, is a 3-year-old chestnut colt and a very flashy individual with a lot of white on him. He is owned by, he was bred rather in Kentucky by the JFB stable, a son of Woodmen from Joconda by Nijinsky. He is owned by the JFB stable, trained now in the United States by Christophe Clement, ridden to victory by Clement's regular trainer, rider, Jose Santos. Ciro completes the 1.5 miles on the turf course at Belmont in 2:31-2. We do have a couple of special feature races to bring to you from Europe this time of year. If it's possible to get some of the European races, I try to do so on the chance that some of these horses may be seen coming to the United States for the Breeders' Cup. This past weekend, on Saturday, the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes was contested at Ascot. The value of the race, about £345,000, run for over a 1-mile distance at Ascot, featuring Giant's Causeway, who has just been dominating the 3-year-olds in Great Britain this year. He stretched out last time, won the Irish Champion Stakes. Let's head over to Ascot now for the call of the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes.
But he's now into stall number 9. That completes the lineup for the QE2. And the racing 3:24, his commentary.
Although one of the pace setters, Manhattan, has missed the kick hand, Lermontov, Medition and Giants Causeway settle down in front with on their outside Indian Lodge. Then Manhattan is trying to work his way to the front from Observatory and Crimplene, Best of the Best and Diktat from Golden Silka, Al Mushtarak, and Valentino is settled at the back of the field. Lermontov has gone into a clear advantage, leads by about 4 to 5 lengths over Crimplene, who's just in second on the outside of Giants Causeway. Then comes Manhattan from Medition, Observatory and Indian Lodge. Next is Diktat racing with stablemate Best of the Best. Valentino's made 2 places. Al Mushtarak and Golden Silka are behind him. They come to the halfway stage. Lermontov pushed along in front and leads now by about 2 to 3 lengths from in second place Giants Causeway. Then Crimplene. Behind this is Observatory on the outside of Medition. Manhattan is next from Best of the Best as they head towards the home turn. Lermontov comes slightly off the rails to let Giants Causeway through, who's about a half length behind him. Next in the field is Crimplene. She's travelling well in third place. Then Medition pushed along from Observatory, Diktat, and then comes Best of the Best as Giants Causeway takes the lead as he heads inside the final 2 furlongs. Medition, the red jacket, into second, then Crimplene on the outside of Observatory and further back to Valentino, but they head with about a furlong to go. Giants Causeway is leading by 2 lengths to Observatory in second. Medition is next. Best of the Best is closing. They head inside the final half furlong, and Giants Causeway has been headed now by Observatory with Kevin Darley on the outside. They head towards the line. Observatory, Giants Causeway fighting back, but Observatory won from Giants Causeway.
Giants Causeway going down to defeat, but in a game effort, being beaten by Observatory after being involved every step of the way. He tracked the early lead, chasing the leaders just inside of top filly Crimplene. Crimplene, unfortunately, was not able to hold on. She weakened in the drive as Giants Causeway was able to accelerate past horses. It was Observatory who was held up early, chasing well out, was able to make up a bit of ground late and just get by Giants Causeway, who held on very gamely for the second spot. Best of the Best, who was also rather stuck in traffic heading into the final turn, trying to make a bit of a move, was not able to get really a lot of headway. Finally did get clear and rallied up into the third spot under well-known international rider Frankie Dettori. The winner, Observatory, was able to win this one under rider Kevin Darley. It has not yet been decided whether or not this American bred will be heading to the United States. It does appear that Giants Causeway, trained by Aidan O'Brien, will be coming to the United States and taking on dirt horses in the Classic. It does look like they're not heading for the mile or the turf. It looks like the Classic is their goal. This is a son of Stormcat out of Mariah's Storm, so I expect him to be able to handle the dirt, but off of a rather let down effort here. I think he ran on very nicely, dropping back in distance to a mile from a 1.5 mile effort last time out. However, it remains to be seen what they will do with him next. I do expect them to be bringing him over, according to a press release that was made following the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. I'm not sure if he will have an interim start. The winner, Observatory, however, completes the 1 mile distance on the turf course in 1:41 and 2. Also this weekend in stakes racing action at Ascot, the Meehan Valley Stud Fillies Mile. This one was for 2-year-old fillies. Featured a couple of very sharp maiden breakers in here, as well as a couple of fillies who have already contested stakes company. Let's head over to Ascot once more for the Fillies Mile.
Off for the Fillies Mile, 2:35. Here's Coventry Ascot.
Valley Stud Fillies Mile and Bailey's Cream is the first one to show in front. Mamia also racing prominently from Imagine towards the outside. Further back in the field, Page Nouvelle in 4th position from Velvet Glade. Then comes Shahira, who takes a very strong hold, racing on the outside of Crystal Music. The two at the back of the field are the 2 market leaders, HotelGenie.com on the outside of Summer Symphony. They race through the first 2.5 furlongs, and it's now Imagine with Michael Kinnan who shows the way. Leads by a length over Bailey's Cream on the outside of Mamia. Next in the field, the red jacket of Page Nouvelle, followed by Crystal Music and Frankie Dettori sit in 5th position just ahead of Velvet Glade. Next is Summer Symphony, who's made 1 position as Shahira's dropped back to be 8th, and still the back marker Craig Williams on HotelGenie.com. As they head past the halfway stage, they run towards the home turn. Imagine continues in front, narrowly to Bailey's Cream running in second, but getting reminders. Mamiya racing in third position. Next is Page Nouvelle from Crystal Music. Then comes Summer Symphony coming through on the inside of Shahira and Velvet Glade. HotelGenie.com is still the back marker as Imagine has quickened up in front. She goes on by a length and a half. Two in second place, Crystal Music coming strongly on the outside. A great run through for HotelGenie.com, who's right next to the rails. Then behind these comes Summer Symphony up on the outside, a furlong to go. Imagine from Crystal Music, and here's Summer Symphony on the outside. Behind them, HotelGenie.com. They're inside the final furlong. It's Crystal Music, the pink jacket, and Frankie Dettori. Summer Symphony, the brown colours, and Jamie Spencer on the outside, but it's Crystal Music who wins the Meon Valley Stud Fillies Mile from Summer Symphony, HotelGenie.com, and Imagine.
The unbeaten Crystal Music continues to run very well. She took the lead and was able to hold on very nicely as late charging Summer Symphony came from well off the pace. HotelGenie.com was really making some headway down on the rail and just got trapped about halfway down the final stretch there. She wasn't really able to get out of traffic at all, but did make a very nice move to rally into the third spot. The winner, Crystal Music, is a U.S. bred trained by John Gosden and ridden to victory by Frankie Dettori. Crystal Music completes the 1 mile in the Ascot, or in the Meon Valley Fillies Mile in 1:44.2. That completes our look back at stakes racing action from this past week from around the country and around the world. We hope you've enjoyed the program and hope you'll be able to join us next week when we'll have a little bit of a lull in stakes racing action in the United States. It's a bit of an off week. We've got the Noble Damsel on the turf for fillies next weekend in New York, as well as New York Breds featured in the Ashley T. Cole and the Bertram Bongard. Of course, next weekend is also the Super Derby for 3-year-olds going 1.25 miles down in Louisiana. In addition to that, we do hope to be able to bring you some of the racing action from the Arc de Triomphe Day at Longchamp in Paris. That will be contested next weekend, and of course will, as usual, have certain Breeders' Cup implications. We hopefully will have all of the significant races from Europe to bring to you on next week's program. Thanks everyone for joining. I'm Jean Wood. I will see you back here next week.